Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a fun little springtime makeup look. I want to do something a little bit more out there, just like I did with my fall makeup look and then my winter makeup look. If you want more like wearable looks, go and look at what I did last year as opposed to this year. I'm trying to do everything a little bit more out there and a little bit more fun. We're going to have some fun with our makeup. Alright, so I already did my base, so you can do your base however you would like. And then I primed my eyes. And I'm going to dust on a little bit of powder because the primer can kind of grab at the eyeshadows, and then when you're trying to blend, it just won't work. This will just give it so you can really brush remove it more smoothly. Powdering will just make it so much easier to blend. Now if you're not priming your eyes, you can probably skip this step. But if I have to prime my eyes, since I have hooded eyes, or the eyeshadow like won't even make it like 30 minutes. Okay, so for this eye makeup look, I think we're gonna do a nice little ombre. So we're gonna go from like skin color to yellow to pink. Actually, I'm going to use my skin color. You should use whatever eyeshadow is closest to your skin color to do this. Although I think for a more dramatic transition, I'm going to start with white. Because I'm starting with white, I'm going to take a clean eyeshadow brush. I don't want there to be any other pigment on it. And then I'm just taking a white eyeshadow. And it's a flat white. There's no shimmer. It's not metallic. It's not glittery, there's nothing to it, it's just a nice flat white. Let's see if this even like shows up on me. I wish I had a white base because I think for this look it would make it pop so much more. So if you have that, I definitely recommend using it. We're just going into that inner corner, getting the little tear duct area as well, so not just the eyelid. Going up even into the brow just slightly and feathering it out. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my skin color. I think I'm going to do this bad boy before we get into yellow. Just going to do a little bit of a transition. Just wanted to do that white because I thought it would be a little bit more dramatic. But you can just start with your skin color as opposed to white. I want to do something fun. I'm just using the same brush, but you can definitely switch your eyeshadow brush out. Now I have this yellow. You know, she's yellow. Okay, now I'm going to go straight in with the yellowest yellow eyeshadow that I have. It's definitely like a really bright, like Big Bird Canary Yellow. And I'm just gonna put that on the center part. So look at where your iris is and use that as a guide when you're looking straight. That's where I'm just packing the yellow. So again, looking straight at the mirror and using my iris as a guide for where I want to place the yellow. And I'm going to blend it all the way up into my eyebrow. And you're probably going to need to take a fluffy brush, and I think I'm going to go back in more with the white and blend. Blend. It's one thing that if you feel like your eyeshadows aren't turning out right, you're probably not blending enough. Blending is the key, and picking shades that can help you blend in those eyeshadows. Now I'm going in with the skin color and blending even more, making the yellow look more a part of everything instead of just bam yellow. Alright, now I'm going into the Whimsical palette. Before I was using the Can changeable fantasy palette, and their colorful one. They have a natural and then a colorful one. But this pink, I think, is calling my name. To get a clean brush, just because we might have to go back and forth a little bit, so I don't want to contaminate the brushes too much. It reminds me of it's a very Barbie pink. It's called Kissable. And it just reminds me of Barbie. Alrighty. That is pink. Taking it a little bit underneath as well. We'll worry about blending at a later date. So for now I'm just going to pack on the color. And for my eye shape, putting a little bit underneath and then winging it out kind of helps me know how to wing the eyeshadow, because I just follow my lower lash line out. So it just makes it easier to get that wing. And then we got to get a clean, fluffy brush. And I'm gonna find a transition shade. I'm not really seeing anything that's a nice, like, peach coral shade. So we're gonna make it. This is the same palette as the colorful palette, but it is the natural one. And I think I'm gonna just take pink, take a little bit of yellow, and I might take some of this as well. And then back to the pink. And we're just going to make a nice little coral shade, because that's what, if you mixed yellow and pink together, you get like a little coral moment. And that will help us blend these two colors. And actually, if you have a coral shade, you don't have to blend anything together, but I don't have like a flat, matte coral shade. Everything I have that could have worked was just too sparkly and shimmery. I'm trying to keep things a little bit more matte. That it's like a sunset. I think I'm gonna go back in with the yellow, and this time use my finger. If you don't want to use your finger, you could use like a sponge applicator, because they pack just a little bit more punch when it comes to depositing color. But your finger works just as well. And I just want it to be a little bit more bam yellow, right where at the lash line. And then you can take the same brush that you used to deposit the yellow, and I'm just kind of tapping out the edges. Just wanted to make sure that the yellow didn't get too lost. Okay, and then we take another fluffy brush and see the really kind of harsh line that we have right there. Did I just get my shirt into the palette? Oh no. I'm going to take a matte skin color, and again, my skin color, and I'm not going to touch the bottom line, just that top line, so it's not quite as harsh. And you can kind of flick it out just a bit, just so it's not quite as harsh of a line. This can be a harsh line, but I didn't want the top to be so harsh. Okay, so now I'm going to take a deep brown shade. There's a nice chocolate one right here. And I'm going to stamp it into the lash line so you can get some eyeliner. Now, if you're like me and you have hooded eyes, and pretty extreme hooded eyes, you're going to want to take some sort of mixing pigment. This is by Miss A, and it's their lab line. So, you know, they have the studio, the lab, and the pro. This is part of the lab. I believe it's like $3 or so. And it's waterproof makeup sealer. MAC has one, which I'm sure is a lot more money. I've also seen one at Ulta Beauty by J-Cat. And then She Glam just came out with one as well. But you can mix it with like powder pigments, really any eyeshadows, and turn them into like a liquid eyeliner. And it just really helps seal things in. Because otherwise, if I don't do something like this, it will, whatever I put on my lash line is going to end up in like up here with my crease, and it's just going to muddy those colorful eyeshadows, and we don't want. But I do want to enhance the lash line. And you don't need a lot to do, just a little drop. And you don't want to put it like onto the eyeshadow. You want to take some eyeshadow and mix it, because you'll ruin the eyeshadows because it will seal everything up and create a hard little cast over the pan, and you don't want that. And then you can't, when you go to use it next time, you can't really use it. Doesn't change the value really of the eyeshadow, but it does make it so it's not really like blendable. I've also in the past have used setting spray. I think I like how this works a little bit better. And the whole goal here is just to enhance the lash line and just vary the two. Trying to keep it as small as possible. Nothing too big. You can also use liquid eyeliner if you don't have all of this, because that won't transfer either. I just kind of find that this is kind of a little bit easier to work with than liquid eyeliner. It's a little, just slightly more forgiving. And you can also use this to get the shape and then do liquid liner over the top of it, just because I do think this is easier to get a shape. And then I'm just stamping a little bit of the eyeshadow onto that lower lash line. Okay, took a little bit of concentration, so I was a little quiet during this part, but I took this because it's a nice kind of desaturated purpley red brown color, and I did just a teeny bit of a wing, just a teeny bit of an eyeshadow wing, just to add a little bit more dimension to that outer part and shape. I think this could work totally for summer as well. It's giving spring summer vibes, but we're going to do something like really crazy for summer, don't worry. I think this will kind of spring things up really, this next step. I'm very excited about it. I think I'm going to wait. I'm thinking I'm going to do some black in lash line. You can totally do whatever color you want. It's going to help make the eyelashes look a little bit more intense. And then I'm going to take this green eye brightener by Thrive. You could take a really light green eyeshadow as well. And I'm going to just add that to the bottom here. And to that inner tear duct area. And the white eyeshadow we placed there will kind of help make it pop a little bit. I think the green is going to spring things up just a little bit. I think I need to take the yellow, that same yellow eyeshadow, and I'm going to blend where the green, pink, and then brown kind of merges underneath here. I'm going to use a eyeshadow primer just to help make my eyelashes pop. I'm going to let that dry, and while it dries we can do our blush. I got this in my She Glam testing out all the lip stains videos. I haven't really used it since then, so I'm going to load some onto a brush. I don't think I want to stamp it right on, because sometimes stains just go right in for it. You'll end up with that initial circle where you put the lip stain on, and then it just looks crazy. But this is very pink, if I remember correctly. We're gonna do like a cute little bring across the nose. We're going for very much like sun-kissed look. And I'm using a fluffy brush. This is like the fluffy, less dense brush I have. I think I got from like the Dollar Tree. It's honestly not that bad to use. Where I normally place my blush, which for me is kind of like the high points of my face right here, because I think when I just put it like right here, you know, kind of that apple of the cheek area, it just kind of drags my face down too much. But place the blush wherever is best for you. If you want to do the apples, just make sure to kind of bring it over across the nose so you look sun-kissed. Right now I'm kind of doing like a W shape. And I always put a little blush on my chin. Okay, so now that we've gotten the stain on, we can go in with some other blush. Now this is the NYX Professional Buttermelt Blush. These things are pigmented. So, same fluffy brush, because it will help us to make sure that we're not going to overdo it. You can see, you know, the blush. We're not trying to do anything too seamless. But I will say, like, this is like a dangerous blush to use if you have blush blindness, because these things, even though I picked like the lightest shade possible, which is Butted Together Soft Pink, it's so easy to just go way too overboard. Okay, so this is going to be the fun part, and that's going to be drawing little cute like flower freckles. Some liquid eyeliners here. I have a white and a yellow one. Actually I have two white ones. This one I got from Miss A. I used it for the winter one. This is by AF94, and it's the Blackline Liquid Eyeliner Laundry Day. And I got this one because it was on sale for 80 cents at Ulta. I was ordering some ordinary skincare, and I needed to add some stuff to get some free shipping, and I saw that was 80 cents, and I just threw it in so I could get free shipping. Because I remember this one by Miss A being kind of a little bit more difficult to work with. And you could, again, take just the mixing pigment and then some white eyeshadow, and do something very similar if you don't have a white liquid eyeliner. Since I have a white liquid eyeliner and a dotting tool, the other side broke, so we're going to ignore that. And we're going to use this side. And just take the dotting tool and paint some on, and then dot it. For me, I think it's going to be a lot easier to take the yellow, which is going to be our center color. We're doing like little like daisies. One thing I will say about Miss A, like the yellows are not the same. This is more of a mustard, and this is like a really bright yellow. But it's definitely more of a mustard yellow. So if you want a really bright yellow, Miss A isn't really the way to go. It's definitely the cheapest, and since I was buying it for just this look, I don't really see myself using a yellow liquid eyeliner that often. I just said, okay, that's fine. So we're going to dot, and this dotting tool, I believe I got it at the Dollar Tree. If you don't have a dotting tool, just use the back of a makeup brush. Same thing, you don't have to go buy a tool, just use the back of your makeup brush. And we're dotting. Now what I'm kind of wondering is, the yellow just doesn't seem very strong. So I'm curious if I can take the white, place the white down, and then we're going to put the yellow on top of it, and I think it will help it pop against the blush a little bit more. I remembered I had this smaller dotting tool with my nail art stuff, so we can also get some smaller ones. You can also use like a Q-tip. Just know that a Q-tip is a little bit bigger, but you can use Q-tip and like eyeshadow and all of that. You don't have to. You can work with what you have. You don't have to buy anything. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the yellow. Where I put the white dots is actually going to be yellow. I was just wanting the yellow to stand out a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can do more of an abstract flower. And now I'm going to take the white again, and this time do the petals. I feel like I'm shaking. Okay, they're definitely abstract flowers. Don't look at them too closely. I kind of want to try the other white eyeliner because I feel like this one from Miss A, if you try to go back over the same spot, it just removes the previous eyeliner, which is kind of annoying. I want to see if this one is just a little bit better quality. Oh, the tip is silicone. Let's see what this does. Oh yeah, that is a much better quality liquid eyeliner. The AF94 liquid eyeliner is so much better. Because, oops, you can see, look at the flower that I did with Miss A. And then with the AF, what is it? AF94 liquid eyeliner. Just, I was able to do a much better flower. It's a lot easier to work with. I never hear anybody talk about AF94. But they seem, I'm impressed with this. So I like to place one on top and then one directly beneath it and then fill it in from there. I think it just makes it a little easier. All I've had is an energy drink and it's showing. I feel like I'm so shaky. Definitely doing the ones on the side. That's the most difficult. Alright, so we have some flower freckles. And now I'm going to take the smaller dotting tool and do the exact same thing, except we're going to create smaller ones. Trying to decide if I also want to put one right there. Let's do these and we'll come back to that. So now I think I can take the white eyeliner and redo. I think I'm going to take this green and do like just some little dots. Maybe just on the big ones. Like so, just some little leaves. I think I'm gonna give this guy up here some leaves. Like so. And then I'm gonna take the dotting tool and just do some like really small singular little dots. Just to act more like freckles. Finishing up the mascara. And then for the bottom lash line, I'm going to take the green mascara. This is by Miss AOA. I believe they discontinued this mascara, but it's so good. And this is from my full face of Miss A makeup. But since we put that green down there, kind of figured it might be fun to have some green mascara because it will just make everything look greener. For lips, I was debating doing a kind of sparkly lip, but maybe a matte lip would be better. So I think I'm going to do kind of an ombre situation. Let's see here, I think this is the darkest pink I have. Then we need to take a lip brush and then go in. Kind of want a softer lip look. And these are the Wet n Wild Mega Last Matte lipsticks. I absolutely love them, and they're so affordable. That was Wine Room. Now the next pink I have is this one, which is Think Pink. And I'm gonna feather that out with the darker color. Then you can totally take some like concealer and put that in the center, but I think I'm gonna go with Skinny Dipping. I think it's concealer enough, at least for me. Putting it on the center, on the bottom, and then up, kind of overdoing the Cupid's bow with it. And I like to kind of feather out my Cupid's bow. This is by Arbella, and it's their single multi-chrome eyeshadow. This is Lucid Dream. And I'm going to use it to highlight my Cupid's bow. Yeah, but a little bit in the center. I'm just going to use it as a lip topper. Going in with a second coat on some of the flowers just to make them whiter. I think they look a little bit more white and a little less, you know, baby pink. Alright, let's put some finishing touches on this. Alright, on my flower crowns that I made last year, I had a full-length video where I made these bad boys, and they're stuck to my shirt. Okay. Whew, okay. So I think I managed to do that. So I made this big one, and then I made this smaller one later on in a short, because the big one is big. Let's see here, so we can go and like this. You'll have to comment down below which one is cuter. This one's kind of slightly too big to wear as a flower crown, but it will work for this video. Comment down below how you think I did, and if you would wear this makeup look. I would wear it to a festival for sure, but like, I don't think it's an everyday makeup look, but it's definitely fun and cute, and honestly wasn't too difficult. You just need, I think the dotting tool does help, although I don't think you necessarily need it. You could just use like the very end of a makeup brush, and then you just have to know how to do a lot of this over and over and over again. And I think it's easier if you put the center down first, and then you do the petals, and I like to do the top and then the bottom, and then fill in the sides, and that's all you really need to know how to do. It doesn't, I don't think it took any great skill to do the dots. It's now if you're trying to like freehand some petals with a brush and get them to be a slightly different shape, then that will be like way more difficult. Just remember, for blending the eyeshadows, have separate brushes so that you can go back and forth between the colors and not let anything get too muddy, and then have some fluffy blending brushes so you can go in between the colors. I am so happy with the way this one turned out. I think it turned out so much better than my winter one. I like the winter one up until the white eyeliner that I did. I don't think white eyeliner is for me. I just don't think it suits my features to do like actual like white as the liner. But yeah, comment down below so far which makeup look you like the best. I think it's between this one and then the one I did for fall. Definitely wear more like of like the fall colors is more in line with like the color scheme that I like to wear, as opposed to this. Don't wear a lot of yellows, don't wear a lot of pinks or light greens. So this is definitely a little bit more out of my comfort zone from a color perspective. I like more deeper earth tones to wear, but it's still so cute. Like if I had like a cute little like festival to go to, like this is totally how I would show up to that. It just needs like a cute little dress to go with it. It's definitely very cute. I don't want to take it off. But I don't know if I want to walk around all day like this though. I have a feeling at some point I'm gonna forget and like touch the flowers and mess it up anyways. Have I said enough to end this video? I don't know how to end these. I don't know how to end these things. Alright, so I think I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!